Hey, everybody. Good to see you guys again. Just going to give a second, make sure you guys can hear and see me okay. Excited to hang with you guys again. Hope everybody is doing well, staying happy, taking good care of yourselves. And super excited to speak with you guys today and to have a discussion. Those of you that are here for the live stream, we're going to get to hang out in a little bit. So welcome aboard. I've been looking forward to doing this for a while. This is how to create celebrity level branding, how to level up your branding and marketing game in ways that might not be so common knowledge type of things. So hello, Jonathan Rodriguez. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here hanging today. And we're gonna get into this in a second, but thank you, as always, to Backstage for inviting me to speak with you guys every week. Those of you know that I've been collaborating with Backstage for a while, and all of my archived articles and videos are up on Backstage.com and Backstage's YouTube channel. And for those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Joseph Pearlman. And at my studio, we help actors launch their careers faster and reach Oscar potential, award level work on set. JC, great to see you again. And I'm excited to get into a conversation with you guys in a little bit about marketing and branding. At my studio, PAA, we believe that you can launch your career faster and with less effort when you're lit up with fun. And we have private coaching, online Zoom classes from Hollywood to anywhere in the world for beginner to celebrity level actors. And you guys are all invited to watch the transformations and breakthroughs in our classes. If you haven't already, you're welcome to invited to a free audit in one of the classes, watching series lead, celebrity level, beginning level, actors of all levels getting a workout on new, currently casting major film and TV auditions every week. And it's really busy, you guys. As some of you guys may know, it's really busy. We have, I'd say, a lot of actors at the studio, multiple auditions a day, sometimes 3 to 5 taped auditions a day. It's unbelievable. It is like explosion of activity. So hopefully you guys are catching that wave of momentum, career momentum these days. And we're working with these actors in class on currently casting major film and TV projects to make the fun and brave choices to guarantee a win, both in the audition room and on set. And you guys can schedule a free audit on our website, www.josephpearlman.com, PEARLMAN.com, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter for free acting and career tips delivered to you guys. So welcome. This is going to be really fun. How to create celebrity level branding. A lot of discussions, a lot of actor discussions, and on branding and marketing that I've heard about. And we're going to look at it from a whole other perspective. We're going to look at it from that sort of, I talked about this before, but there's like, you can look at the industry. There are 2 different ways to look at it. There's this murky bottom where everything's unclear, where there's this sort of herd mentality thinking that you have to suffer your way to the top and you have to, look for agents and managers and send out mass mailings and real sort of suffering type of stuff. And then there's this higher, clearer level where there is no one size fits all. Everything is easier. And it's a personality game and a feeling game of how you feel is what you get, and who you are is what you get as well too. But I want to give you guys some background of the work, and I'm very, very, very excited. I know so many of you here today. Hi, everyone. I can't wait to, Lindsay, great to see you, to see that you're here, and I can't wait to speak with you guys in a little bit. The story, I don't know, maybe 10 or so years ago, I started noticing a trend, and the trend was this at my studio. Why are you guys going out for 0 to 7 major auditions, competing for 0 to 7 major feature film TV auditions a year, and then some actors are going out for over 100? what's going on there. And I really dialed it into what's happening or what's not happening is that actors that are not pitched on a telephone, when there's not a phone game going on, both the actors and the reps, their strategy partners, when the actors are not pitched on a telephone, they stand a lottery's chance of getting these auditions. When actors are only submitted and don't have a solid, strong pitch strategy, they're only going out for 0 to 7. I mean it, 0 to 7 major roles a year. And the actors that are pitched on the telephone and there's strategy and there's high-level strategy involved, those are the actors that are seeing the 100+ auditions a year. And this year is the most amount of auditions I have ever seen happening right now. It's really exciting. So phone pitching versus submitting. And there's a right way and a wrong way for you guys, for actors who are at their Olympic best, okay, to directly pitch yourself to major production teams and network execs. There's a right way and a wrong way to do that. But we talk about it a lot. You have to be great. It's the Olympics. It's not enough to be good. You have to be great. And it's possible to get there faster. And that's why I'm asking you guys and inviting you to come watch the work and to see how it's possible to have that transformation breakthrough every time you get up and work. Not every 4 weeks. Literally every time you get up and work, you can have that and get to that Olympic level of your game faster. And one of my friends and actors who I work with, Lyndon Foster, described it like this after the career work that we did. If you can look at the industry from the top down versus the bottom up, you're going to get to where you want to get faster. You're going to, as I describe it in another video, teleport to an A-list career and not have to climb the rungs of the ladder, not have to suffer your way up a mountain. So I want you to think about changing your perspective. Max Planck says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. It's really deep and really cool. And it applies to everything in life. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And what is the difference? Like, what keeps 99.9% of reps didn't know that it was their responsibility to have a phone game, to use the phone. They didn't know. And I think it's both fear and ignorance of how the industry works that keeps people off the phone. And I'm talking about actors as well. And I'm talking about producers as well, and writers and directors. This is a phone game followed by an email, not an email first, not a submission first. The high-level strategy is on the telephone. And I'm going to speak a little bit more about it. And like I said, if you're just joining us, I can't wait because I'm going to take all the questions that I can in a little bit because it's really fun to hang with you guys and to engage. And I was thinking too in the future that it might be cool to, pending Backstage's interest, to have sort of all your questions asked type of event. I thought that would be maybe a cool thing, and we can perhaps do an event where we're just taking all the questions that you guys have throughout this event. Great agents and managers make hundreds of calls for their clients. So again, like all the videos, I'm building something. We're building this. I'm giving you some background, and then we're going to start to dial in and get more specific. Great agents and managers make hundreds of calls for their clients, okay? They also use email. They also submit, but phone calls are key here. My friend Sarah Jackson is one of the best managers in the industry, and she says this. This is a beautiful, heartfelt letter to actors, and she sent it to us to share it with you guys. And it's what makes for a very successful agent and manager relationship. And I mentioned this. I put this online, and I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to read her letter in a second. But yeah, it's this. Great reps. I'm saying this, then I'm going to read Sarah's letter. I believe that great reps are high-level strategy partners. The relationship should be one of mutual respect and trust. You should feel like you're part of an exciting team where everyone, both actor and rep, is actively strategizing and pitching, both on the phone and via email. And now I'm going to read a letter from Sarah Jackson, my friend, about what makes for a great actor-manager, actor-rep relationship. And if it's not yours, it's okay, but I want you to strive for this type of relationship. She said this: I'm in such a fortunate position of having my own business. For me, that's been everything. In the same way that I get to hire people that I admire, trust, and believe in, I also get to choose the actors that I want to work with. And she says this: I don't work with anyone whose work I don't at some level absolutely believe in. And I also don't work with anyone I don't personally like. Sometimes relationships don't develop or work out in the way that we'd hoped, but that's in every aspect of life. And here's where it gets really interesting. She said, this is a tough job. You have to make hundreds of calls for clients, not submissions, not just submissions, hundreds of phone calls. And you're lucky if 1 in 20 pans out to an appointment. And then maybe 1 in 100 appointments, auditions, lands a job. Not 1 in 100 auditions per actor, 1 in 100 auditions within her company. She said it's hard to wake up in the morning and continue to do that for people you don't like, and impossible to do it for people whose work doesn't inspire you. She said, that's how I feel. It might not necessarily be of help to you, she says, but you have to work on it like any other relationship. And she talks about what actors can do to support their reps. Remember, it's not your rep's responsibility to figure out your marketing and branding. It's your responsibility to figure it out and to deliver it to them on a silver platter. And she said this: don't go weeks without calling your manager, but don't call daily for a 20-minute conversation. That's a really good, I really like how she said that. And that's like a really good framework to work with your relationship, with your reps. I want to know how your rep relationships are, and if they are strategy partners, and if you do personally like them, and if they do personally like you. And she said this: if you get information about a particular project, a friendly reminder to a manager goes something like this: hey, manager or agent, just to remind you, my friend X is directing X movie and I see it's casting now, is useful. As is, hey, a reminder, you sent me out on that great project X a few weeks ago. The casting director said I was awesome, but they needed a name. I see she's now doing X, and that sounds like it could be right for me, is useful. Or also useful, hey, a reminder, I'm friends with X writer director, and I hear he or she is now directing a pilot I'm right for. These are all useful. What's not useful is this: hi, I heard that X casting director is looking for a 30-year-old Indian lady. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not useful. Why is it not useful? Because it's not telling her the relationships that you already have established. What's useful to your reps, if they're high-level reps and they know that they were supposed to use a telephone, is letting them know what pre-existing relationships you have warmed up, the irons in the fire. This is really important. She said, what's not useful is not communicating why you don't like something and are passing, or being late or unprepared for auditions. She said, we're all human with egos and appreciate gratitude and thanks. And she said this in summation: finding reps that you really share a sensibility with and connect on a personal level is so important. It will help you through the roller coaster of this career. They should encourage you when things are looking bleak, and also be able to say, as I did to a client today, get over yourself. And she wishes everybody to find their dream team. And I think it's a really important, I really think it's an important thing to start off this conversation about what makes for the highest level, celebrity level marketing and branding, not the generic, herd mentality stuff that sometimes we see in the industry, this niche and this type stuff. I've said, knowing what your niche is and what your type is useful, but do not confuse your niche and your type for high-level branding. It is not that. High-level marketing and branding is something else completely separate and different and better and higher level than that. And this is what truly great reps need to know before taking on new clients. The rep colleagues of mine say, hey, Joseph, when you make a referral, it's really important that we need to know this. How are we going to sell this actor when we pick up a phone and pitch to the people who make the final casting decisions, the network execs, the production team, also casting as well? How are you going to sell yourself when you actors also pick up the phone and pitch? It's such a fun question to start to get the process started of, with this discussion. To do this, you need to know what your value proposition is. And I'm going to speak a little bit more about this in a little bit. Value proposition. The value proposition is not something that's taught at a lot of business schools. It's taught at very select business. Harvard Business School teaches value proposition. We're going to talk about it a little bit because it's incredibly useful for you guys. It's incredibly useful in any business, whether you're Apple, whether you're Nike, whether you're whoever you are. So yeah. Cold calling. We're talking about cold calling in the right way. Cold calling. Wow, it sounds cold. It sounds scary. It sounds terrifying. It sounds like I'm setting myself up for possible disaster. No. If you know how to cold call, as I think it was Steve Jobs said, the ability to use the telephone properly separates the doers from the dreamers. And I mentioned this too. I think it was called, you guys can maybe let me know, Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre. It was a documentary, the Crazy Ones or something like that. Jimmy Iovine, the producer, is on the phone all the time. And he said it's the only way you can do it is on the phone. Maybe the Crazy Ones. You guys can let me know if that's right. Steve Jobs said this, and we want to think about this marketing and branding question like this. Steve Jobs said, marketing is about values. It's about values. Value, not about the value that you think you have, but what's the value that somebody else is going to get from you and from your work and from your personality. And it all starts with personality. And I've mentioned this before, but you need to answer questions. Yeah, there's lots of herd mentality. We've talked about this. There's so many mind viruses and stories of suffering in this industry. Please, permission from me, from our community to you, to just simply let go of all these stories of suffering. Like, you can't book high-level work if you don't have big credits. It's like you can't get from point A to point B to the highest level in your career without suffering or climbing a mountain. Let go of all the things that suck, that don't feel good, because it's going to put you in a not feeling good place as well. So we're answering questions like, who are you? I want you to answer questions. Who are you? What do you stand for? Where do you fit in this world? What are your core values? What are you about? What do you believe in? Do you see a trend here? These are not questions about, the kind of roles or the niches that you could be easily packaged into. These are questions about you, your personality, helping someone to understand your heart. And part of this discovery and part of the pitch that I work through with actors in the career work that I do, the Launch Your Career program work that I do, is when you're picking up a phone and you're pitching, you want to make it about them, not about you. You want to make it about them, not about you. And to do that, you need to know who they are. You need to do your research. You need to know who the other production partners are. You need to know who they work. You just need to know everything you can about the project. You need to have seen the project. One of my favorite quotes by Simon Sinek, author and Silicon Valley author and speaker, he says, people don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. What is your why? What is your why? These are not quick things you can think of in your head. Remember, nothing of value can be figured out in your head in this work. It needs to be discovered out loud using your words. It can take time, but it's all fun time. It's all like impactful time. So don't try to figure it out in your head. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. So think about this, you guys, in starting this marketing branding question, because never buy into a one-size-fits-all approach. It's ignorant. It does not take into consideration the incredible, infinite uniqueness of the individual personalities. How do you want to make people feel? This is how do you make people feel? And you can write some of this stuff down. How do you make people feel as a person? How does your work make people feel? What do people say to you when they watch your work and when they're around you? How do you make them feel? One of the best quotes in the world from Maya Angelou. She said, Maya Angelou says, I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Nothing else to say about it. It's just beautiful. I've learned that people will forget what you said and people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Is that true or what? So the other thing that's really important too is know what you want and be clear about it. Okay? Know your industry. It's not enough just to say, I want to be on one show. There are thousands of projects out there. You don't have to have watched all of them, but you need to be familiar with more than one. You need to have, like, in any genre that you like, there might be, 20 to 40 shows. So you need to know your industry. You need to watch stuff. You need to go on to IMDb. You need to maybe set up an IMDb Pro account. You need to know how things are connected. Who are the writers involved? Who are the directors? And you may find really fast in that exploration that someone who's one person removed from that production. So know your industry is really important. Don't have an I'll take what I can get mentality or mindset. I think far too many actors are just sort of waiting for breadcrumbs and handouts to fall off a truck. And don't do that. You want to get in front of it. You want to take the curve ahead of the curve. You don't want to be behind it. You want to lean in and get in front of this. So let's come back to value proposition. When you pick up a phone and your reps pick up a phone, you literally have seconds to communicate who you are, where you fit in the industry, and what your value is to the production and to the team. And it's called value proposition. Once crafted, a value proposition is like a concise and impactful pitch. It's something that can't be ignored. It's something that's going to get a wow. It's something that's going to pop somebody's head off a laptop. But I like saying that it's something that can't be ignored. And a value proposition is, think of it like a succinct statement that gets straight to the point. It hits home with what you're offering, why it's useful, beneficial, and why you are the answer to a quandary they maybe didn't know they had. It's what you're going to use on the phone. It's what you're going to give to your reps on a silver platter to sell you. It's what you're going to do when you walk up to someone at a film festival, at a virtual event. It's what you're going to say in a general meeting, which we've talked about many times before. And think of the value proposition as the DNA, as the nucleus of all your future marketing, social media, email, phone pitches, etc., pictures, resumes, websites. You want to do the work of figuring out who you are, why you do what you do, that value proposition before you invest in any other branding collateral. Because it's like a lot of businesses do that. They set something up without really thinking about it, and then they have to take it down ultimately because there was never a good value proposition or story put down to begin with. So it's going to be neat because you're going to deliver this to your headshot photographers. You're going to deliver this to folks who you collaborate with on, making websites, social media, creating content. It's really important. And yeah, so it's a succinct statement that gets straight to the point and it hits home with what you're offering, why it's beneficial, and why you're the answer to their quandary. It's the DNA of all your future marketing, social media, email, and phone pitches. And unfortunately, a lot of folks neglect to lay this strong foundation before they dive in and invest time and energy and effort and collateral, reels, pictures, websites, etc. So it's like, what are you going to say that can't be ignored? It's something so irresistible, undeniable, and exciting that when you say it, you're going to get that wow. And yeah, and it's important to sort of be really brief about it, to get to the point. And it's called value proposition. It's a brief, succinct statement that gets to the bottom line of what you're offering, why it's useful, and why you're the solution to a problem. And I'm going to give you an example of one in a little bit. It's worth taking the time to do this. Again, Do not try to figure it out in your head. It would be too cheap of a version to do that. You want to hunker down and take time and do this. This is the work I do with actors. And we hunker down over the course of hours to distill this. And I want to give you, this is one of my favorite quotes, and it's from Westworld. And it's a quote from Anthony Hopkins' character in Westworld. At the end of the first season, he's presented a storyline idea by one of the chief designers, and it's not good. And Anthony Hopkins, as the head of the Westworld, he doesn't like it, and he poo-poos it, and he said, "Nope, I'm not into this." And he said this, and this is a masterclass in marketing and branding, and I'm going to read it to you. He said, and I want you to substitute the word guests for the people who are in a position to hire you, the production team, the producers, the writers, the directors, the casting director, your audience. And here's what Anthony Hopkins says. He said, it's not about giving the guests, people, what you think they want. The guests, the people who hire you, who love you, your audience, your fans, they don't return for the obvious things we do, the garish things. They come back because of the subtleties, the details. They come back. They get excited about you. They choose you because they discover something they imagine no one had ever noticed before, something they fall in love with. They're not looking for a story that tells them who they are. They already know who they are. They're here. They're having this conversation with you guys, actors, because they want a glimpse of who they could be. Okay, they're here because they want a glimpse of who they could be. The only thing that your story tells me, Mr. Sizemore, is who you are. And that's what Anthony Hopkins said in Westworld. And it's a masterclass in marketing and branding. I think it's magnificent. And one of the things that I really love about that is, what is that thing that somebody could really fall in love with? And how can you dial that into something that you would say? And you have really seconds to communicate that on the phone. And again, this is a conversation that's important to have at any stage in an actor's career, but do not implement this. This is how to make getting in the room the easy part, okay? To compete for the role, not the audition. Far too many actors are in this mindset, this suffering mindset of thinking that they have to compete for auditions when it's possible to compete for the role, not the audition. So you need to be real and honest with yourself. Are you there yet? Are you great? And how do you know if you're great? It's not because somebody gives you a stamp or gives you approval. Great actors, you guys know the work is great. Again, because you know what great acting feels like. You know what great acting feels like. And one of the biggest markers of that is fun, lit up with fun. If it is not magnificent, ecstatic, alive, invigorated, empowered, fun, it's not working yet. And if it feels effortful, any effort, it's not working. You want to have impact. You want to have impact. You want to affect change. You want to find opportunities to shake and to surprise and to move people. And lastly, great acting should feel like you, like your version of it, not like the idea of a character. That's what everybody's scratching at, their idea of the character. It's you under the influence. And we've talked about that a lot in the videos past. So yeah, and the other thing too is that this was something from my friend Alex Ashinger, who is an incredible actor and writer and producer and one of the coaches at the studio. And he said that, he said, people are telling you, we keep hearing, you have to create, you have to be making something right now, but don't do it because you think you're supposed to. Do something, write something, make something because you need to, you have to, because it's a story that you need to tell. He said, I can't tell you the number of creatives who develop projects because sci-fi or superheroes or whatever is hot right now. And then they never get anything made because, just like we talk about at the studio, by the time the masses realize that sort of whatever genre is hot right now, it's too late at the studio level. They already are looking for the next thing. So create something that you would watch because you need to, and you'll find your audience. Do it because you need to, Alex says. Chase a trend, and you'll always be chasing a trend. So instead, create a trend. He said, it's the same thing, again, Joseph, you talk about in class. He said, don't niche yourself, create the niche. Don't niche yourself, create the darn niche. What's the thing that you do that is a singularity, that is singular to you, that nobody else can do? Not something that 100 actors could also be neatly packaged into. What's the thing that you do that someone's going to say, wow, it's like Lindsay Beecham is busy. We need a Lindsay Beecham-like actor because Lindsay is so great. We just have to have her. Like, what's the thing that is like makes you so unique that someone's going to have to get a second-rate copy of it because you're too busy? It was a fun story years ago. I've shared with you guys before in this community. The moment that I knew Zooey Deschanel had made it, she came into a taping session with me some years ago, and she looked kind of bummed out. And I said, "Hey, Zoe, what's up? You don't look happy." And she said, "Here, it's this." And I'm like, "Give it to me." And she handed it to me, and on it was a character description, and the character description said, "Looking for a Zooey Deschanel type." And I was like, "Dude, you've made it. You've just shown the industry what they can't live without. They have to get a copy of it." And she's like, "Yeah, I'd like to have some work too," at the time. And she was doing great, but it may have been a little while between jobs. So I thought it was kind of a funny situation. I want to give you guys I want to get into a conversation. We're going to hang out a little bit and talk about this, but I'm going to share with you a sample value proposition. Again, it takes time to do this. It's worth the time and energy that it takes to do this. These are important questions to ask. So don't just try to figure out in your head what that thing is, because it's sort of their infinite levels of awesomeness with it. Be very clear. One, about what you want. This is how I start the Launch Your Career program work with the actors, where we distill value proposition. We craft multiple points of dialogue, phone dialogue, email dialogue. And the first question, you guys, is, what do you want? What are the dreams nobody will judge? Okay? Be specific, not just, I want to, it's great if you want to win an award and you want to work all the time, but specifically, what kind of genre? Who do you want to collaborate with? Do you want to be a series regular? Do you want to be a series lead on a show? Do you want to do indie films, leading or supporting? And what kind of films? Sci-fi, drama? Be specific and go big. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't just think, well, I can't get that, so I'm going to settle. Don't settle on this. The dreams nobody will judge. What do you want? And then ask yourself, what's working? It's really fun, even with the acting, you guys, to clear your desk of all the stuff you don't have to do. So ask yourself, what's working? Where are the dots connected? Am I at the top of my game with my acting? Am I good on the telephone? Do I have relationships with some really great network execs, producers, casting directors? And then what's not working? Be very clear about where the dots are not connecting, you guys. And one of the big things that brings actors to the career work when I do it is, one, the actors are getting no auditions, or they're getting no high level, or not as many high level top tier auditions. Okay. And it's not always the rep's fault. This is a partnership you have with your reps. And then we are going to do a deep dive into your personality. So one of the first questions in the work is, describe yourself. How do the people who love you and know you describe you? How do you describe yourself? Your personality traits, and start to think about them. And there's like 100 questions, and we ask so many questions and distill and distill and distill to the point where we have a statement crafted that when the actors read it, their whole face lights up, and it's like this yes moment. It feels great to be able to have something, because you don't want to feel like you're tooting your own horn when you're picking up the phone and when you're making this pitch. I'm going to give you sort of a sample value prop that's really dialed into an actor. He says, the people who recognize me from Broad City always tell me how hilarious I am and how sweet I seem. I love playing roles that represent the underdog, because it's important for me to give people hope and a voice. So they can say at the end of the day, oh, that's me. When they see my work, they can say, oh, that's me. At the heart of it, I want people to feel like I'm telling their story. That is a very distilled, powerful value proposition statement from an incredible actor, Martin Avila. And you do not have to have major credits in order to have a value proposition that gets you in the door for major projects, that gets you toward a general meeting with a network exec or the head of a production company. You do not have to have that. But it is important that you're an actor, that you take yourself seriously, that you're at the top of your game. Like I said, this is really powerful stuff that when implemented, it's going to help you make getting in the room the easy part. You're going to get opportunities really, really quickly. And one of the cool things that we do at the studio is that most of the actors at the studio have come through this work with me, and they're actively every week coaching on, having breakthroughs on, currently casting major film and TV auditions or booked roles, and then actively strategizing to pitch and compete for these roles. Remember, I've said it before, and it's like good. I think it's a good life thing. What is for you will not go by you. One of my mentors, Roz Clark, in high school, said this, and it's so beautiful. What is for you is not going to go by you in life, but it's not just going to fall on your lap. It's your responsibility to reach out and grab it and take a bite out of it. And there's a fun way to do it. None of this, you do not have to suffer to have the highest level career. There should be no suffering or abuse when it comes to the acting as well. I know you guys have really good, BS detectors, and you can tell when something doesn't feel right versus when it does feel right, and trust that. I want to start to hang with you guys. I want to start to take some questions, and really do invite you guys to come and watch the work. A masterclass I teach every Thursday. And again, you guys can be a part of the work from anywhere in the world, from the privacy of your own, a comfort of your own space. We have actors at the studio from all over the world in the classes, and you guys can watch for free in an audit. And just send an email through the contact form on our website, www.josephpearlman.com, PEARLMAN.com. And I really look forward to seeing you guys, answering more questions. We talk to all the auditors that are there, and you guys are watching amazing work, and maybe something for a future video as well too. But we do everything. Classes should do everything. You should have scene study, audition taping, audition technique, everything. I did a video on all the different styles of auditioning. There's like 15 to 20 different ways of auditioning. You should be very clear about the context. It's important to practice how you play. Scene study. Scene study is not for an acting class. It's preparing for a shoot. It's how do we make choices that are brave and fun to get you to award level performance on set. That's what scene study is. So it's important to get real about what's the point of the class? What are we trying to do? And anything you do in a class has its end outside of the class. Nothing should have its end within the bubble of the class. So come and hang out. Lindsay, you're probably saying all these beautiful things, and I don't want to miss some of them. So what I'm going to do is this. Lindsay, that's so sweet. Thank you. If you may have had a question earlier, you can start to put it in now, and I want to hang with you guys. Again, thank you for hanging out with me today, and for all the love and support with these videos over these months. I hope you guys are taking really great care of yourselves. There's this really cool positive momentum that's going on right now, and I hope you guys can wrap your arms around it and get pulled up into it, because there's a lot we could not be happy about, as you guys know, but there's when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Back to that Max Planck quote again. So Martin Davis, great to see you here. And it's great to see some new faces as well. So let's see. Anybody have any questions about the marketing, about the branding, about anything like that? I do want to hang with you guys a little bit. Let's see. Did you like the Westworld quote? It's like, what's something that somebody's going to fall in love with? And here's the secret, you guys. I love that Alan Watts says this. Don't let somebody steal your watch and sell it back to you. Your greatest acting, your greatest marketing and branding is yours. is already yours. Someone doesn't have it to sell back to you. It's right there. It's in your personality. It's right there. So let's see some questions. Oh, you're so welcome, Nikki. Yeah, I know your birthday was a couple days ago, but happy birthday again. Isaac, I feel so ready to go full throttle, 110% in the world of positivity. Yes. Marius, I have a question. I found a really cool production in my own country. At the same time, I have just signed with an agency in London. How do I approach this opportunity? Well, that's great. Congratulations on signing with an agency. And that's great that you know projects that you're excited about that you want to collaborate with. It's important to be on the same page with your reps. One of the first questions you want to gently and nicely ask your reps is to see if they use the phone, if the telephone is part of their pitching strategy. If it's not, they're not going to wake up the next day and realize that they were supposed to get on the phone. So what you should do is this, Marius, is you need to talk with your reps. You need to be on the same page with strategy. You need to let them know if you do have these reps, and you need to see if they can be a team member. I also recommend making sure you're at the highest level of your game with regards to acting, and making sure that your reps know how to sell you when they pick up the phone and pitch you. That's very important. Is you can sort of check in with your reps, not to, put them on the spot or make them feel like they're not doing something, but you can say to your reps, hey, just wanted to see, thank you, by the way. I'm really excited about this relationship. Do you have anything you need? Is there anything that you need that would be useful and helpful when picking up the phone to pitch me? And that's a really good way to sort of maybe test the waters as to whether they are using the telephone to pitch. So see if you can get these reps on the same page as strategy partners, Marius. And if they're not for some reason, that's okay. Then you need to do it yourself. You need to identify who the other players are, distill value proposition, and be able to pick up the phone to do that. Martin Davis. Martin, hope you're doing well. Hope Chicago's treating you well. Not going to mention agents by name, but it seems that some simply wait until they're contacted by a client and simply arrange the meeting. Audition. Yeah, you guys, like anything. There are people that are good at their job and people that are not good at their job. Some of my best friends are agents and managers. It's just, I think one of the biggest actor complaints is my reps aren't doing anything. But guess what, you guys? Your reps were never supposed to be doing everything. Remember, they're just one. They're just sort of one rocket on a grouping. I don't know if I'm saying this right. On a thruster. Elon Musk would know this better than I would. They're just one part of your strategy team. You see what I'm saying? At no point do reps ever take over and do everything for you. They're a really important alliance to have, but they are not a magical pill. So I agree with you, Martin. It's like you need to, as Sarah said, have a relationship where you're not calling every day for 20 minutes, but you're not going weeks without contacting your reps. Thank you, Martin. Shelby Cox. Hi, Shelby. Should theater value propositions be any different than TV and film? No, it's the same thing. It's just great to know that theater is your jam. We're all at the studio theater nerds, and that's awesome if theater is your jam. And no, it's the same. You just need to be very clear about where you want to go, who you want to collaborate with, and your why. There's so many angles to approach. So the answer to your question is no different. Let's see, Isaac or Isa Cerullo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. Yeah, you're so welcome. All that matters is that it's useful. And let's see, Kay. I got a lot of questions coming in. If I miss your question, it is not personal. There's a lot of questions coming through here. Let's see. Oh, good. Okay. Saeed Vahidi, welcome. I love your videos through Backstage. I want to start. I have no experience. I'm really passionate about acting, especially screen acting. When I watch the movies I fall in love with, come and take a free audit at the studio. Watch the videos on Backstage. Read the articles on Backstage. Okay, Chepo Rabotata, welcome aboard. How does one go about personal branding? Can you please clarify? Start the video from the beginning and watch it, because that's what I talk about in the video. So it's really going to be useful. And then also watch all the other videos in the Slate series that Backstage and I've been collaborating on. Let's see. Let's see. Isaac, you don't go as far as your dream, you go as far as your team. Oh, that's great. You make your team go as far as your dream. How about that? Let's see. Landon Hart, for branding, how would I know that my branding has gone too far? Listen, if you read your branding and there's anything other than wow or like, yes, that feels great, and you are energized with like positive, like it feels amazing and you can't wait to deliver it, then you need to get back to work. Like I said, the highest level branding, you cannot figure it out in your head. This is sometimes it takes a team to work through it. That's why I do this work with the actors. It's called Launch Your Career Program. And we do it every week with the actors who are at the studio. And you guys are welcome to take it as well, too. Just reach out through the website, www.josephpearlman.com. Isaac, thank you so much. This is a love. And all that matters is this is useful, practicable, actionable stuff. That's all that matters. Yeah, Lindsay, I hope you're doing well. You are such a great actor, and hope you're. I believe you're. Seems like you're busy from what I last heard. Can't wait to work with you again. In my experience, Lindsay, you said, if you are reliable regarding responding, being prepared, submitting your self-tapes on time, etc., this really motivates your reps to work with you. Yeah, that's really great. It's a two-way street. Like I said, this is not just about reps not doing. It's the actors realizing that it's a 50-50. In fact, it's greater. The actors do have a greater responsibility because it's your responsibility, as I read in that Sarah Jackson letter, to build these relationships with these production teams and network execs and casting directors and bring those relationships to your reps to let them know that you now have a green light to pitch for those projects. So thank you, Lindsay. Good. Thanks, Isaac. Deborah, do you have any tips on how international actors could have a successful acting career in the US and Canada? Yes. There is no obstacle to doing it. There never was, but it's more evident right now as we are all virtual. And I've talked about it many times. I've helped many actors all over the world secure high-level roles without leaving their country. So I want you to, if you can, if you will, join me in letting go of the myth that you have to be in LA or you have to be in New York or you have to be somewhere in the US in order to have a high-level film and TV career. You do not. All of this work, all of the work that I talk about in the videos that I'm talking about today can be done from anywhere. There's a fun story I mention all the time. An actress, Catherine in Montreal, that booked a big role in The Handmaid's Tale from Montreal. And when we started to do the career work together, she said, "Who am I to pick up the phone? Who am I?" And 5.5 months later, she is in a huge scene with Elizabeth Moss on Handmaid's Tale because she learned in the work that we did how to build a obviously game-changing relationship with the production team of Handmaid's Tale. So it's a non-issue, and it's actually quite easy to do. So Deborah, go for it. Don't limit you. It's not an obstacle. Don't make your location an obstacle to your success. Don't make your location an obstacle to your success. Let's see. I don't understand the question, Lady Rennie. Hi, Joseph gives a true agent who never used you only. I can't understand it. So if you can make it a little more clear, I can try to answer it. Oh, in our last agency, She Loves, welcome. Yeah, right. She Loves is seconding Lindsay's comment in saying our last agency meeting, they mentioned dropping talent for this reason. Yeah. Remember, you guys, it goes right back to this. It's like you want to work with people and they want to work with you because they personally like you. If you do not feel personally liked and respected and valued in any relationship, especially business, it's going to cause a lot of aggravation. Something I mentioned before is in business to eliminate anyone or anything that aggravates you, because they may aggravate you they may aggravate you for a couple minutes, but they're taking up 80% of your headspace for days, months, weeks afterwards. So permission from me to you that you do not need to suffer abuse to take you know what from anybody in this industry. And it's okay to move on. By the way, actors are not more valuable with reps, okay? You are not more valuable just because you have reps. And I've said this before, stop looking for reps. Great reps want to feel like they discovered actors. They don't want to feel sought after. So at some point, you and your dream team will meet up. But until that point, you can have the most incredible booking career, building relationships on your own without the reps. And great reps are phenomenal. They are phenomenal. And reps that are not you can waste 10 years or years of your life. By the way, I worked with, I'm not going to get upset about this, but I worked with an actor who told me that she was signed into a contract with a rep team for 3 years or 4 years, and they'd gotten her one audition, and they make her take acting class. They make her take their acting classes and pay for the acting classes as a prerequisite to being repped by them. And I said, I was so upset to hear. And this happens a lot, you guys. Trust your instincts. You have good BS detectors. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right. And it was most likely a sham contract that she had. So really, I really want you guys to stand up for yourselves and to demand that other people respect you. And sometimes it's just a matter of saying, listen, I'm a professional, you're a professional. I'm going to take a moment for this note. I'm going to take some time. So yeah, let's see. Yes, you're busy, Lindsay. Great. I can't wait to get back into class. You're welcome back in anytime. Just let me know. That's so good. Congratulations, son. Of course you're busy. I'm sure everybody wants to work with you. Lindsay is one of the brightest beams of light, most positive actors I have ever met. So that is beautiful. Congratulations on all that work. You know what? Someone said, snip XXE. What is the hard part about getting an agent? The hard part is actually having the mind virus that you feel like you have to have an agent in order to take the next level of your career. So, really, really, you guys, if you have reps, great. Suss out whether they're using the phone, and you can do it nicely, and make sure it's one of personal respect and all that both ways. Let's see. Love your masterclass, Ernie D. I'm only a background actor who is SAG. Well, that's awesome. Trying to make a leap to being a real actor. What is one thing I could do today? Well, it's like stay sharp. Get a workout wherever you get a high-level workout. Come and take an audit if you want to, watch what we do. But stay active. And I helped an actress a couple of years ago build a relationship with Wonder Woman, Patty Jenkins, and her team to ultimately secure a meeting. She had nothing but background. It was sort of background on a major show. And interestingly enough, this actor did not follow up with the rep team to ultimately have that meeting, but they did positively respond to her. So even though you have only done background, it is okay. You can still compete for high-level roles. But I would say, Ernie D, be very familiar with the projects that you want to collab. Know what you want to do. Okay, if it is theatrical stuff, like what are the shows that you want to be a part of? Who are the writer, director, producer? Did you guys know that, let's say there's a movie that you really liked, whether it's Hunger Games or whatever it is, or a show that's currently not on the air? Did you guys know that those production teams are currently in production for up to 100, for 3 to 100 other projects? And that if you build a successful relationship with a network, with a production team, that you are in competition for all of those projects, not just one project that a casting director is working on. So be very clear about what you want, Ernie. Get to your highest level as an actor and learn how to sell yourself when you pick up the telephone. I would sort of start the conversation like that. Yeah, let's see. Nicole de Oliveira. Hi, Joseph. Is a person who speaks broken English able to attend and be a part of your masterclass or any of your classes? 100% yes. Come and take an audit and check it out. We have actors. English is not their first language. We have a place for anybody that wants to act at our studio, and I welcome you to attend an audit and be a part of it. So, Nicole, don't be shy. Come and attend an audit. And I look forward to meeting you and speaking with you some more. Lindsay says, loves my agent reports how she can lose confidence in an actor if they don't respond and are not prepared. Yes. Andres Robledo, I hear about, so many questions are coming in, guys. If I lose yours, I do apologize. I really do want to get to all of them. Let's see. I know, imagine not responding to everything on time. Like, what if you missed that opportunity? Aren't we excited to be doing this? Yep. Yeah, it's you'd be surprised. Anyway, Martin Davis, true indeed. Rep yourself until a great rep comes looking for you. Martin, I love how you said that. Rep yourself until a great rep comes looking for you. Ernie says, audited your masterclass. Awesome. I only do background actor who's SAG, trying to make a leap to become you are a real actor. And if you adopt that attitude out loud right now, you'll get to where you want to get faster, Ernie. Thank you for auditing the masterclass. And I'm glad that it was fun. She loves. Your work will attract the right agent to you. So many new actors focus on that versus the craft. Yes, she loves. You get this. Absolutely. Your focus should not be trying to find an agent or a manager. That is effort and not impact. Absolutely. Sindora, create content. Hey, hey there. Create content. Yep. Create content if you would like to create content. Don't create content because some marketing guru tells you you're supposed to create content. Remember, do it because you have to create content. Okay. Yeah. Good. I miss class so much, Charlotta Richards. I miss my people even through Zoom. You're welcome back anytime. All right. Cool. I think I've gotten to some of your questions. If I didn't, it wasn't personal. There's just a lot coming through the chat right now. You guys, come and continue the conversation with me in one of the classes. Let me know what things you'd like to discuss in these lives. And yeah, I thank you very much for hanging with me today. Much love. Take really good, as always, take really good care of yourselves. And yeah, it's really possible to do anything when you're lit up with fun, and it's possible to flip that switch right away. Possible to flip that switch right away. So until next time, you guys, be well. Have a beautiful remainder of your week, and I'll see you guys soon. And thank you very much to the team at Backstage that makes these conversations possible and supports this beautiful community of actors. We are all in the same. We're basically, all in the same boat with this stuff. You guys, be well. Take care, and we'll see you guys soon. Yeah, cool. Bye, guys. Bye. Lindsay, thanks so much for the love and support in the chat. She loves. Bye.